You might think a location with the busiest street corner is a guaranteed gold mine, but what if I told you some of the most profitable brands reject those spots? I'm breaking down the playbook that top operators use to avoid perfect locations that fail. Using real-world strategy from Pepper Lunch and Jeremiah's Italian Ice, you'll see how data turns overlooked neighborhoods into top-performing stores. Let's get into why a busy sidewalk doesn't guarantee a profitable restaurant. High visibility can't save a flawed location. A packed sidewalk means nothing if the people walking by are not your customers. Premium rent, a mismatched customer profile, and labor shortages will sink a restaurant no matter how busy the street is. Troy Hooper, CEO of Pepper Lunch, confirms they don't chase flashy districts. Their process starts with data, mapping customer clusters and labor availability before even visiting a site. They look for a center of gravity, areas where their ideal guests already live and work. If GIS mapping and local spending data don't align with their model, they move on. It's a concentric growth model, expanding from a strong base rather than chasing high-profile locations that strain operations. The hidden costs of the wrong location hit hard. High staff turnover is a constant expense of recruiting and training. Supply deliveries slow down when trucks wrestle with congested streets or limiting loading zones. Even if sales are good, each of these chip away at your margins. Fewer disruptions in staffing keep service quality high. Predictable delivery schedules reduce waste and stockouts. The takeaway is simple. Foot traffic only matters when it's the right traffic. If you could see exactly where your best customers live, work, and spend their money, choosing a site would stop feeling like guesswork. Top operators start with a data blueprint for this. 1. The demographic profile. They analyze age, household income, and category spending. Pepper Lunch, for example, used geofencing to confirm that 50% of their guests were under 30. That single data point shapes every decision they make. 2. Co-tenancy data. They map nearby businesses that attract the same customer.
Where else does your customer go? Where do they go for recreation? Where do they go for entertainment? Where do they go for business? And where else do they eat?
3. Labor market. They verify a steady pool of workers is available. Jeremiah's Italian Ice applies a similar process. For one Arizona location, they needed to decide whether a drive-thru would be worth adding. They reviewed climate data, noting how summer heat drove in-car dining preferences and paired it with reports on off-premise demand. The numbers showed a drive-thru wasn't just viable, it was a competitive edge. So they incorporated it into their site plan from day one. You can build your own initial blueprint at no cost. Public census data provides population, income, and age breakdowns. Municipal GIS maps show zoning and future development. Yelp Trends can show seasonal popularity shifts in different cuisine types, helping you spot surges or drops in demand. This data acts as your first filter, eliminating sites that look good on the surface but don't fit your operational model. When you identify where your best customer clusters are, you can chart logical expansion zones. That's how brands avoid one-hit wonder locations that can't be replicated. By the time pros visit a property, the numbers have already removed most of the risk. They aren't hoping it's a good location, they're confirming it. Second-generation spaces, sites that previously housed another restaurant, are a powerful tool for efficient growth. They offer a fast track to opening with significantly lower capital. These locations often come with essential infrastructure in place: ventilation hoods, grease traps, and the required electrical and plumbing. A new build out for these systems can cost hundreds of thousands and add months to your timeline. Pepper Lunch uses this strategy to expand efficiently.
The best restaurants we're getting now is we're actually buying second-gen restaurants. We're knocking on doors of existing restaurants and saying, would you like to get out of your lease?
But Troy Hooper warns that due diligence is non-negotiable. Before committing, operators must analyze the site's history and performance and get professional representation to review lease terms. A full technical inspection of the power, hood, plumbing, and HVAC is critical. Some leases limit signage or layout changes, so check clauses carefully and inspect all mechanical systems to confirm the space can handle your menu and your service style without costly retrofits. This isn't just about saving money, it's about creating leverage. By reducing build-out costs, you free up capital to open up more units or invest in a stronger launch. Jeremiah's Italian Ice pairs this strategy with intensive team training through their Cool School and Leap LMS training programs. They ensure brand consistency is so high that a customer never knows if a store is new or established. The right second-gen space cuts startup time, reduces debt, and keeps capital flexible. Bypassing full construction avoids design fees, permitting delays, and surprise build costs. The true measure of a winning location comes down to more than just foot traffic. It depends on how well it fits your customer, your operation, and your growth plan. Before you sign your next lease, run this playbook. Analyze local demographics and geofencing data. If you have resources to invest, Troy Hooper uses a tool called SiteZeus to do this. Assess the labor market and your hiring pool. Evaluate second-gen spaces to speed up your launch, but make sure to perform rigorous technical inspections. Plan for concentric growth instead of one-off locations in different states. Which factor do you consider first? Let us know in the comments. Thank you to Troy Hooper and Juliana Blackhurst for appearing on our podcast. Find the Pre-Shift podcast wherever you listen. Subscribe for more breakdowns on multi-unit growth and staffing efficiency.